Herbert Hoover, 31st President, 1929 to 1933. An engineer and humanitarian whose term was overwhelmed by the onset of the Great Depression. Franklin D. Roosevelt, 32nd President, 1933 to 1945, launched the New Deal and led the Allies to victory in World War II across 4 elected terms. Harry S. Truman, 33rd President, 1945 to 1953, ended World War II, began the Marshall Plan and NATO, and framed early Cold War policy. Dwight D. Eisenhower, 34th President, 1953 to 1961, built the interstate highway system, managed Cold War tensions, and enforced school desegregation. John F. Kennedy, 35th President, 1961 to 1963, set a moonshot vision and steered through the Cuban Missile Crisis before his assassination. Lyndon B. Johnson, 36th President, 1963 to 1969, passed landmark civil rights laws and launched the Great Society, even as Vietnam escalated. Richard Nixon, 37th President, 1969 to 1974, opened relations with China and pursued détente, then resigned amid Watergate. Gerald Ford, 38th President, 1974 to 1977, sought to heal the nation after Watergate and steady a turbulent economy. Jimmy Carter, 39th President, 1977 to 1981, emphasized human rights, brokered the Camp David Accords, and championed energy conservation. Ronald Reagan, 40th President, 1981 to 1989, pursued tax cuts and deregulation, revived confidence, and confronted the Cold War with strength. George H.W. Bush, 41st President, 1989 to 1993, guided the Gulf War coalition, managed the Cold War's end, and signed the ADA. Bill Clinton, 42nd President, 1993 to 2001, presided over economic expansion, NAFTA, and welfare reform amid partisan battles. George W. Bush, 43rd President, 2001 to 2009, led the U.S. through 9/11, wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, and the creation of the DHS. Barack Obama, 44th President, 2009 to 2017, passed the Affordable Care Act, ended the Iraq combat mission, and steered recovery from the Great Recession. Donald Trump, 45th President, 2017 to 2021, remade courts, cut taxes, pursued restrictive immigration policies, and reshaped trade agreements. Joe Biden, 46th President, 2021 to 2025, led the COVID-19 vaccine rollout, signed bipartisan infrastructure and CHIPS laws, and backed the clean energy transition. Donald Trump, 47th President since 2025, returned for a non-consecutive term, pursuing conservative policy reversals, new trade and border moves, and a reshaped foreign posture.